What's up? Welcome to the Rusty Toolbox Quarantine Edition. Today I'm going to be taking out the garbage. Done. And I've got two new radiator hoses that are going to go in the 540i. Try to solve these cooling issues. First time working on the 540i since it burned my arm off. Not completely, but pretty bad. It's getting better though. I have finally have functionality in that arm again. So here we go. Just gonna open it up. Alrighty. Pop the old hooter. Okay, so this hose is actually totally in good shape, but this is a temporary hose for the bottom line. It's just a generic hose that sort of fit. It actually works okay, but I would rather have that as like a safety and backup. So I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap those over there and replace it. So if you've never replaced hoses on the radiator before, pretty easy. Be prepared to have some liquid spill out. So since I'm replacing the lower on the radiator, probably going to lose quite a bit. But all you have to do is loosen up that clamp right there and loosen up this one, and you just pull it off. It's pretty simple. So gonna do it. All right, clamps back in, installed nice and tight. Hose, proper hose that is, back in its rightful place, all hooked up. Obviously it goes without saying, don't do any kind of work on your cooling system if the coolant is hot. Don't be unscrewing your overflow, your expansion tank lid. Don't be undoing any hoses because there's a lot of hot coolant in there. It's pressurized and it burns. Ask me how I know. All right, so just gonna fill this up. Then gonna move on to the 335. Gonna move on to the 335, and I want to do a little templating. I want to see if I can make a cardboard template for a lower splitter, for a front splitter. First I was thinking I was going to make it out of aluminum, but I've got a lot of fiberglass hanging out at home, and I'm stuck here, quarantined. I'm thinking maybe I'll make one out of fiberglass. Anyway, I'm thinking about it. Like much, but after a little while under the car piecing stuff together, I think those are our basic mounting points. At least the rear's pretty slick actually, and I should be able to guide the mounting points in the front. We'll just base those off of where it mounts up when it's in the back. So it's not super accurate. There's one mounting point here that's raised. These are both raised 1/2 inch. So I tried to do my best 1/2 inch with some cardboard. This is raised maybe 1/8 inch. Probably actually flush. But so that is the passenger side. So in theory, I can trace this out, do the reverse, and I'll have the driver's side. So, got some more cardboard over here. Let's make it happen. Ignore the office chair, but as you can see, that kind of looks like a splitter. So now, I'm going to repeat the high mounting points on the other side. Hopefully, they mirror each other. And then, I'm going to flatten everything out, tape it all up, make it very smooth. I'll do some mounting wax or some release for the fiberglass and see what happens when we pour it. Obviously, it's made to be a little bit big because once it's poured, we'll then cut, mount, and then really get fine with trimming the fiberglass, like where the lip is and the edges. So it doesn't have to be exact, even in the mold. So pretty cool. Alright, all glassed up. It looks terrible, and I'm hoping that it just looks terrible. The important thing is that we get the basic shape, because then obviously we're going to be cutting a lot from the front, trimming all this up. I used an entire container of fiberglass resin. I'm hoping that'll be enough. 2 layers of matte fiberglass cloth, I should say. Yeah, I'm wondering, I still have some of this loose matte. Maybe go over the top of it. I just don't have a lot of resin. So, yeah, it's not great. It could be better, but we'll see how it turns out once it hardens. All right, I popped the glass out of the mold. Came apart fairly well. Left a few little pieces of tape. Anyway, flipped it over. So this is actually the bottom side, the underside that you're seeing here. This will be underneath the car. Went back with another layer of fiberglass matte instead of just the cloth. So matte to get some nice cross weaving going on. And another batch of the epoxy, and I'm hoping that makes it nice and stiff and solid. The shape is good. The shape is really good, actually. I'm happy with it. And then obviously we'll be trimming once it hardens up. We'll cut off all the excess, and then we get it mounted, and that's when we'll basically trim exactly where we want it to be. All right, done with fiberglass. Now got a fresh cutoff wheel, and gonna start cutting this thing to shape. Always wear protection. This thing is nasty. Fiberglasses. Okay, so it's all cut out, a little wavy on the top. The most important bit is going to be about from here all the way over. So obviously get that sanded down, probably use some body filler to flatten it out, get this nice and flat. But it should, if my measurements are right, pretty close. Something like that. Obviously, needs to be trimmed and bolted in and all that stuff, but pretty good. Not bad. Should mount up pretty flush. Yeah. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Rusty Toolbox. About to mount that up, that splitter, get it in the right spot, and then make it look pretty. While I'm at it, I've got the kidney grills out, going black to match the wheels, windows. You know, they were the only chrome thing on the car, so those are going to go shiny black, but that'll all be for next time. Stay tuned. We're going to finish making this fiberglass splitter. Hopefully it turns out. If it doesn't, no big deal. It's a good experience. But thanks for joining. Hope to see you guys soon.